This is Jamey from Stockpile Games, and I am here today, not just myself, but also with an orange Stonemaier Me Pillow, which was sent to us very kindly by Top Shelf Fun. They make these awesome Me Pillows that are very huggable, and they hadn't had an orange one. Maybe they just didn't have it in stock, or they hadn't made one until recently, and they very kindly sent me one because Stonemaier is, we use orange in our company logo. So I'm going to let go of that Me Pillow for a second because today I'm going to talk about my favorite game mechanism in a game that I actually have on my shelf, Stockpile. Stockpile is a game that I played a while ago, and I hadn't played it for quite some time until my game night just a couple nights ago. And I realized, and I remembered how really brilliant of a game this is in many respects. It plays super smoothly. It plays about 45 minutes. We were essentially relearning it the other night, and still the game only took about 45 minutes. It really flows. You're constantly engaged. Anyway, I'm not here to review the game. I'm here to talk about my favorite mechanism, which is the auction system in Stockpile, which I think is probably one of the best auction systems I've seen in any game. Maybe rivaled only by Ra or other games that I'm forgetting. Either way, but Ra is a really good one. But this auction system is just brilliant. And fortunately, the bottom of the box kind of shows it. At the beginning of the auction, you can see down here, so this looks like a 5-player game. So in a 5-player game, these are the auctions. I can't move my finger properly. These are the auctions down here. There are 5 of them. You seed the auction with one face-up card, and then players take turns in player order putting, and players have been, each round players are given 2 cards secretly. Those players take those cards and put them in any of those piles, in this 5-player game, any of these 5 piles. They put those cards down, one face up and one face down. And so there's an element of hidden information here, and it's a really, really interesting choice. Not only where are you putting these cards, are you putting them on separate piles, the same pile, but also which card are you going to show players? Which card are you going to put face up? So you might look at a pile that is highly sought after. Maybe it just got seeded with a really good card, or another player's already put a card on that pile, and you want to maybe decrease the value of it. Do you put like a bad card face up? Because there are some cards that hurt when you take them. Do you put those cards face up? Do you put it face down? It's kind of, you're trying to work into the psychology of what other players are thinking or what they want. Which is just a really, really interesting choice. After all those stacks are seeded by players, you take turns in player order, placing your little meeple, as you can see here, on the auction segments. And let's see if I can get a close up there. Because the brilliant thing about these auction segments is that the numbers are preset. You're not declaring, hey, I want to spend 2 on this or 3 on this. It goes from 0, 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the numbers are preset. I found myself for a stack that I really wanted, and I did not play it very well, so this might not be a good strategy, but I found myself, if I really wanted something, I would start out with a pretty high number to discourage other people from bidding at all. Because if anyone bids, then, so basically everyone puts their meeples out, and then if anyone has been outbid, the player who has been outbid picks up their meeple and puts it on another auction, which will sometimes create another situation where someone else has been outbid. Or everyone might just choose 0 and choose all 4 or 5 different auctions, and everyone just takes the cards for free. That can happen too. It's just a brilliant, streamlined auction system. It's so clear and easy to see what other players have bid, and it's a really, really interesting choice to decide, like, what do I really need? How much am I really going to pay for this? Is it worth risking that someone else might outbid me? Because you could just settle for a lower pile for less money, but if you outbid someone else, then they could immediately outbid you again, and then you're kind of stuck. If you really wanted that pile, you might have to outbid them again, or you have to move on somewhere else. So it's almost hard to describe how streamlined it is, because it's all these interesting decisions in a very, very streamlined mechanism. All you're doing is putting your meeple down on one of the auctions, and there are plenty of options to choose there, but it's just really, really streamlined. It's I can't say it better than that. I think you almost have to try it to see how good of an auction system this is, and how gratifying it is to win an auction or to get an auction on the cheap that you wanted. Yeah, great job with Stockpile. I love this mechanism, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on your favorite auction mechanism in a game. Um, it might be one that's like this, that's super and streamlined. It might be more complicated. Maybe it has hidden information like this one does. Maybe it doesn't. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.